Okay, today we're going to take a look at this Western Electric payphone. The handset's laying down there because this, I really can't get it off one-handed, so I've already gotten it off, unhooked. We're going to take this off, set it down, and we're going to have a look at the guts. This is in my lit-up telephone boothette deal. Okay, first, these actually use a standard 500 or 2500 series ringer in them. And it's got a logic board here where your phone line connects. It's got little fuses and different switch settings, and then the coin relay here, which your money is held in that hopper right back here until the call either goes through or no one answers, in which case it'll be refunded or dropped into the coin box. And this is a bell system. Now, your coin mech here determines what type of currency you put in, what type of coin you put in, quarter, nickel, or dime, and if it's not a valid coin, it kicks it back out the coin return. Also, when you make a call on one of these type of old Western Electric payphones, you would have heard a recording telling you how much to deposit into the phone to complete your call if you didn't put enough money in it or you didn't put any in there. This recording wasn't done by the phone. Unlike the smartphones like I showed you in the previous video, this recording actually came from the telephone company's office. And if you were to hook up a normal phone to one of the old payphone lines, just like phone like any of those, to a payphone line, you would still get that recording. And if you were to hook this payphone up to a normal home line, like I have it hooked up, you don't have to put money in to use it. Now, people think that removing the coin relay is necessary to convert it for home use. That's not true. You can actually leave the coin relay in there. When I got this phone, it didn't have that, so I had to order it. And basically all that does is, without the signal from the phone company to tell it to collect a refund, your coins will just sit in there until you push this in, and it kicks them either into the coin return or the box. I'll show the box in just a minute. But basically that's all it is. And when the way the phone company's computers would know what you put money in is it would play a tone with each type of coin. A quarter was a series of 5 rapid beeps. Nickel was 1 beep, and a dime was 2 beeps. The telephone hackers, or the phone freaks, figured out how to do this with a device called a red box. And basically what it did was it played those tones over the phone line and fooled the computer equipment at the other end into thinking that that coins had been inserted and paid for, and it'd let your call go through. Today's payphones you see now aren't susceptible to this, but that was a big thing the telephone company had to deal with, and it was actually a pretty clever system until they figured out how to beat it. But this is your basic 1C payphone right here, bell system. And we're going to also take a look at the front housing here. You've got an armored keypad, armored handset cord, your switch hook, and your coin return lever. And on the back side, your coin return. And I'll show you what that does here in a minute. Here's your switch hook right there. Your wiring diagram, stuff like that. This plug plugs into that receptacle on the payphone, which I'll show you. Your handset wiring comes in here. It's got an armored cable in here inside the handset to make it really hard to rip one of those handsets out, although I've seen them that have been ripped out, so it's not impossible. Here's the actual locking mechanism. Where my finger's sticking through, there's supposed to be a lock there, but this one didn't come with them. And I just haven't ordered any yet. And the locking bolt will go in here. And it's a very stout system. Now we're going to move back on to the coin box. And real quick, there's that plug. The other end of that plug. Now, normally, if this had locks in it, you would need to put a key in this hole right over here and unlock that first. Then use this T key to open that up. if there was a lock in this side part and you didn't have the key to that, this key wouldn't work. Then you pull the coin box out, and as you heard, it made an interesting noise. That is because normally there would be a tamper seal on here. When you pull that out, this lid closes, and it won't open back up again until you reset it. And the way you reset it is you have to break the tamper seal, which there's not one on this one. And then you'd have to use a screwdriver to turn this screw right here and reset it. That's to keep the telephone company employees from dipping into there and pulling out a few dollars worth of quarters and helping themselves. Because if that seal was broken, they would know someone had gotten into it. And you can see in there, it's a pretty stout little vault. This door itself is quite heavy. Here's the bolt work of it. It's a pretty thick little door. And there's extra screws and coins down there that I've had for other stuff. Put the coins back in there. I'll do that later. But that is the Western Electric payphone in all of its glory. And the telephone booth that it's residing in right now. Pretty cool setup. I use this phone. It still works just fine. And I had to unhook it to make this video because it would mess the light up having it unhooked with the... It was made in 1991, that coin mech, and then the 1989. So yeah, no telling who made calls on this or what they talked about. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.